What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are covering SRL, the League Racing Championship. I take place on Friday nights. This is the Japanese Grand Prix, and we're looking to hopefully challenge for the win once again. Our form in these League Racing videos as of late has been pretty good, and I'm looking to kind of extend that into this round as well. So in terms of the championship, I can't really give you an update on the tables because every time I upload these videos, there's a new race has already taken part in behind the scenes, and the table gets updated so quickly that I'm never able to get a static shot of the table without spoiling the results. So after this race, you will get the table and you'll see where we stand at the moment. We are closing in on like the top 4, something like that, so we're looking quite good at the moment. But here we are for Japan, once again practice for AOR, and for this race I loaded in a setup. I did probably one qualifying session in the build up to this, and surprisingly the pace was there. I feel like there wasn't too much more time to extract out of myself personally when I was doing some practice laps. So immediately on the pace and actually looking quite good. Our first kind of run there in qualifying puts us provisionally on pole position with a 1 minute 28.6. We can probably do a low 28, maybe high 27s with a bit more practice, but we'll see what we can do. I'm looking to at least improve by a couple of tenths and really solidify this pole position that we have at the moment. Checkered flag is now out, and you'll see just a running lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, unedited, and yeah, I'll just talk you guys through the laps. So going through the first 2 Degners, 7th gear through here, you can just about take it through there in 8th gear, but it is a little bit sketchy sometimes with that outside curbing. We negotiate that all fine. Heading into this middle sector hairpin, you can take this either one or 2 ways. You can either take it 2nd gear, which gives you a little bit more wheel spin. You can carry a little bit more pace through there, or you can go 3rd gear, which I probably should have done through there. But anyway, sizing up the spoon curve now, shifting down, to 5th gear, and then for the second part, 4th gear. I really hooked it in there for that corner. I really got a nice slingshot exit, and you can see the delta we're gaining quite a bit of time. We're actually losing it now in this back straight for some odd reason, but yeah, 3.5 tenths up. We're looking quite good here for pole position, despite a couple of people improving. Really late braking into the final chicane. Clip both the curbs, 3rd gear on the power early, and keep as far to the right as you possibly can to shorten the run up to the line. DRS is open, and pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix. We were the last across the line, I believe. So yeah, there's no one who can topple us from the top spot at the moment, and it is poled by just over a tenth from New Zealand Ryan. 28.3 plays a 28.4. Hazardous Jared, who recently joined, I believe, looking pretty pacey as well in P3. Warden would probably like to be a little bit closer than that. He's P4. Jetson P5. Pumps to the win. Good effort from him, P6. Master Berserk. Neon Trudome, Chimchar, and Owens rounding out the top 10. So we head off into the race now. We're going to be doing the one-stop. There's been a lot of comments on my videos lately. A lot of people slagging off the one-stop strategies, saying that I'm losing myself too much time by doing these strategies. In all honesty, just about every track on the game, 2 stops is too slow for it to be a viable strategy. You just lose too much time. But 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix, and we are underway. It looks like a fairly even start between myself and New Zealand Ryan. You can see him slowly creeping, and so I just cover off the inside to kind of defend the position and make sure he doesn't try anything up the inside there. We cut off that opportunity before anything even presents itself, and we have the lead of this Japanese Grand Prix in the early phases of this race. Warden gets himself up in a P3, so not a good start from Hazardous Jared. Neon Trudome has retired from the Grand Prix. I'm not too sure what happened from him there. But yeah, for us it was a nice clean start, and now we can pretty much get on with our race. You'll probably notice as well, when you compare the fuel loads to myself and Ryan, he is running quite a bit more than me. He's running 3 laps of fuel, whereas I started off with 2 laps. So could be an interesting contrast here to see how this plays out. Ryan will be able to run with more rich mixture over the course of the race. That's probably something I need to improve on in future weeks of league racing. I need to run with more fuel so that I don't leave myself too overexposed in the second half of the race. That is something I have found myself having to do, is looking after the fuel just a little bit too much. But early days here, it seems like we have the slight edge on New Zealand Ryan. Purple to the second lap, 32.5. Ryan probably did like a high 32.5 or even a 32.6. So it's literally a line ball between the two of us. For me, I'm faster through the first sector, the high-speed stuff, whereas Ryan seems to be really good out of the final corner, that final chicane, and also the middle sector hairpin. That's an area that Ryan seems to be really strong at. Again, there's a little mistake from me there, running up onto the curb, the exit of turn 1, and yeah, it just gave Ryan a little bit of a sniff there, but we managed to hold on to the lead for now. It seems a little bit frustrating as well because Ryan is just kind of hanging in there in my slipstream. I'm pushing, but I can't quite get the maximum out of the car. Again, I'm losing a bit of time through that final corner and the hairpin. That seems to be my real weak points around this circuit, and it just allows Ryan to put the pressure on me quite a bit. We pit on the end of lap 8, sorry, and we're going to be going onto the medium tyres. So we're electing for the undercut in this Grand Prix, and it'll be Ryan's response to see what he does now, whether he pits on for mediums in the next lap, or maybe does he stretch out his tyres for another 3, 4, 5 laps and go onto soft compound tyres. It's going to be very interesting to see, but for me, I felt like personally the medium strategy was probably the better way to go. I feel like Japan is a really high tyre wear circuit, and personally, I didn't know the strategies 100%, but I felt like the softs probably wouldn't be able to go to the end and be faster. But we'll see. This is what this league is all about, finding out what the best strategy is and applying that to when we get to AOR. But yeah, we're doing the exact same strategy we're doing in Singapore, but the difference is this time we're actually rejoining in the lead. We don't have anyone contesting us from behind, and we're actually able to get on with our racing now. You can see we're setting purple sectors on the brand new tyre, whereas you compare that to Singapore, we weren't doing that. We never even beat our fastest time from the start of the race in Singapore. Now we're actually doing that, and that's the big difference. So now we'll see this strategy really come into play and see whether it is actually faster than the soft compound tyre strategy that New Zealand Ryan is going to run. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how this plays out now. The gap to Ryan is 3.5 seconds, 3-ish seconds. We got a couple laps undercut there, and yeah, Ryan seems to be really strong at the end of his first tyre stints, which you know, really sets himself up well for the end of the race. So I knew I had to push at all times during this Grand Prix. I just had to block out the fact that Ryan was going to catch me. I just had to press on, do my own race, and if I blast in the fastest laps and just continue to keep my eyes forward, then I'll be looking after myself towards the back end of the race. And you can see now Ryan has started to close in. I knew this would happen, but you know, catching me is one thing, overtaking is another, especially now that yeah, he's going to be swallowing up quite a bit of dirty air. So here's going to be the first test. DRS, rich revs, and I believe we're actually running the exact same setup. It's probably happened accidentally. It didn't happen intentionally. We both loaded the top time trial time setup, and we just applied that to this race. So from a, you know, a driver standpoint, it's all down to us to just execute the best driving race. That sounds really stupid. We just have to execute it and make sure we look after our tyres, look after our fuel as well, and let the strategies play out. We'll see how it goes. But Ryan goes to the outside through turn 1. I knew I had him covered there if I just hold the inside. Daniel Ricciardo did this to Michael Schumacher a few years back, I think, in the Toro Rosso, and Michael couldn't get past him all race. So I know holding the inside, best way to go at Suzuka. Just make sure he doesn't get the inside, and we should be fine to keep the position there. So he won't be able to do much in this first sector where the S's are. There's too much dirty air there, and to be honest, he's going to have to put in a superhuman effort to get anywhere close to me through that section of the track. The other danger areas are into that hairpin there in the middle sector, and then into this final kind of chicane into the third sector. So that's the areas we need to watch out for. But again, we're really weak off that final chicane, but Ryan seemed to have got a really nice exit there this time. And we're going to be side by side as we head into turn 1. Ryan takes the outside. I'm leaving him space on the inside, but Ryan has run onto the marbles and has actually given up the position there. I lost the back end of the process as well. It's really strenuous on the rear tyres when you hold that inside line. There's a lot of stress on those tyres, and with the aggressive strategy, aggressive setup I'm running as well, car is very oversteery. There's a lot of pressure on the rear end, and yeah, you have to catch the back end really aggressively to stay in a straight line. But again, carbon copy of lap 19. Again, Ryan gets a super exit this time, probably even better than what he did on lap 19. And here we go, side by side. Ryan has taken the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix, and this time he makes it stick. Wow, okay, so there you go. Ryan takes the lead of the Grand Prix. All is not lost though. I knew, unlike Singapore, we would actually get a few laps here where the medium tyre would be faster than the soft. And I feel like that'll actually start to kick in now. So I was, in many ways, pretty disappointed that Ryan got the lead there. He just got an amazing run out of the final corner. And there was nothing I could do about that on the straight. But, yeah, for the last 3-4 laps, we should have some kind of a pace advantage over Ryan. But he is still pushing on mega hard at the moment. Our tyre wear 50-odd%. So, on the medium tyres, 50-odd% tyre wear, that's pretty substantial. You compare that to Ryan. I don't want to know how worn his tyres are, but he has a moment there through turn 2, lap 25, and that was the little sniff, a little bit of an invitation towards me to make me realise, yes, we can still win this race. His tyres are really starting to go off now. He's probably got no front end on those tyres, and he'll be struggling to negotiate all these high-speed corners, especially in that first sector. So let's do this. Let's see what we can do. We'll really apply the blowtorch to Ryan now. We're really on the ragged edge in terms of fuel, so we need to balance that just like we did in Monza, trying to get to the lead but also trying to make sure we get to the end of the race on fuel. It's going to be very tough. So we're running lean revs through the first sector, but you can just see here, like, Ryan is really struggling with the front end. You can see how much more bite we have in our car. Even though we're in the dirty air, we're able to hit the apexes so much more nicely. Ryan's going defensive as well, weaving on the straights to try and break that slipstream. I would do exactly the same thing as him as well, so 100% don't blame him there. But watch this, as we go through this first sector, Ryan really struggles and he has to kind of slow up the car so much in the mid-corner. It just allows me to catch up so much, even though I'm in the dirty air, which is a massive deterrent in itself. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Saving a little bit of fuel. It's it's 0. It's literally on, like, what's the break even of making it to the end. So we need to save fuel just a little bit. We'll do it as we head into this little hairpin corner. Ryan again goes defensive. He's not going to have a great exit, but yeah, we'll try and set him up. We'll see what we can do out of spoon curve. We need to make sure we absolutely maximize this exit and use the slipstream to full advantage to overtake him into the final chicane. This is our only chance. So here we go, 4th gear, caught up on the curb a little bit too much there, which wasn't ideal, but it was still a nice exit, and we're really close to Ryan as well. So here we go, rich revs. We're going to pretty much run out of fuel here, but we want to get the lead of the Grand Prix. We'll see. Ryan goes defensive. He's going to hold the inside as we head into the final chicane, but we're going to go for the move anyway, up the inside. We take the lead of the Grand Prix. There's a bit of contact, and Ryan comes out on top. What a race. I had to give that a go. Ryan gets the race win. We're going to come home in P2. But what a Grand Prix was that. That was absolutely incredible. Fair play to Ryan as well for leaving the space in the final chicane. A bit of contact was made, so apologies about that, but we got through there fairly cleanly. Congratulations, Ryan. Incredible pressure that he had to absorb in those final few laps. It's incredible how even we were on the strategy there. I knew that the medium tyres were going to come back to me versus the softs that Ryan had, but man, that was so close. Ryan was really low on fuel as well, so I mean, in terms of strategy, flip a coin and that's your race strategy. I mean, honestly, like, if there were probably more people in contention for that race win, I feel like my strategy would have played out better for me, because I would have had clearer air, and Ryan might have had to have overtaken more people to get that done. So, I mean, for AOR, softs is probably the better way to go in a straight up fight 1v1. So if that is the case with Ryan next Sunday, I think we have a break week for AOR next week, so we'll take that race in 2 weeks. But yeah, we'll just take the strategy however it goes. That was really, really close, but really looking forward to AOR now. If the pace is going to be this close, I'm really looking forward to a straight up street fight at Japan the next time out. So that's been this video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and see plenty more F1 2017 videos. Here is the results, the championship standings on screen. You can see we are quickly closing in on the top 3, a feat that I thought was impossible when we started this league halfway through the season. but we may well get there if results continue as they are. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.